about Green Tron. Does Green Tron count as an Eldrazi deck? If you're looking for like an Ancient Tomb, like a strict Eldrazi Temple Eldrazi deck, I think the colorless Serum Powder Eldrazi deck's like okay. Like if you're addicted to Thought Knot Seer, I think the Serum Powder colorless Eldrazi is the best variation I've played recently, but I don't think any of them are like well positioned if you're looking for like just like a pure power level. I think they come up a little bit short. It's called Magic Arena Ninja Turtle. So they are literally rewriting their Magic software as we speak. I would not expect them to create Magic Arena and then recreate something else as well. That would really surprise me if they did that. Do I think they'll migrate MTGO to Arena? I mean, maybe. We'll never know. It's hard to predict. Trying to predict things Wizard of the Coast does generally ends in frustration and annoyance in my personal experience. Arena is written in Unity. I think Humans is too fast? What? That seems silly to say, Shadows Fall. I think you could say a lot of things about Humans being good for various reasons, but too fast seems absurd. Like, as far as, like, straight linear draws go, Human is just, like, pretty far down the barrel. Big Stream Decker, yeah. Enjoy that bingo square. What do I want to do with these? Do I double? I think I double bottom here, right? Like, I don't really have enough going to, like, take a second Ascension. You think I'm supposed to keep the Bolt? I definitely want to ship this. Do you think I'm supposed to keep the Bolt? I kind of want to just go, like, bottoms up here. No, I have no idea what they're doing. Yeah, that's true. We just need to not die. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, humans isn't competitive because it's linear. Humans is competitive because it's interactive. Blood Crypt Faithless Looting is like 5 different decks at the moment. So let's wait a minute and see. Look at that. They're playing Dredge. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna play my TT. Yeah, this card's very good against Dredge. I got you, Tinny. It's a pretty medium Dredge for them. I have another looting here. No, none of the creatures Dredge typically plays are horrors, so think of me, I should just be a good tempo reset, basically. Really on Sleight of Hand here. Perfect. Work on getting this going. This deck seems good against most Faithless Looting decks. Why would you say that? J-Mac wins. What about our deck makes it good against Faithless Looting decks automatically? Thinking the Ice is okay against them on average. We have 3 Surgicals in our sideboard, so we got that going for us, which is nice. And some angers. Oh, we have anger too. Yeah, those 5 cards are good. And one of the really nice things about this archetype is that we're really good at finding our sideboard cards, right? Like, we've got 4 Visions, 4 Sleight of Hands, 4 Faithless Looting. So, like, we find our sideboard cards on average a lot faster than most people do. They had 2 Narcomoebas in their hand. That being said, this Amalgam is going to bring back this other Amalgam, which is pretty scary. Hopefully, we can, like, find more bolts or paths and then, like, get this active and burn them out. Perfect. So, I get to go... Do I just go up? I go upstairs, double path the Amalgams, right? And I think I want to send both the bolts upstairs because then we just need 2 more bolts to end the game, which seems appealing. Let's wait and see what else they do here with their dredges. Stream Decker is updated. It doesn't always update on mobile. Nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. Things work on Firefox? Is that the joke? It's 2018, people. Don't we use Google Chrome by now? Opera is just reskinned Google Chrome at this point, so I'd assume it works on Opera. Am I supposed to get Sacred Foundry or Steam Vents here? I'm probably supposed to get Sacred Foundry, right? Because I have an extra blue in my hand. I tried using Firefox for a little bit, and then I went to log in on my phone, and I couldn't remember my sync password. And in order to reset my sync password, it had to wipe out all of my sync data. So I was like, well, this is stupid. I'm just going to go back to using Chrome. I just want my applications to make my life easier, and that wasn't making my life easier. So I went back to the application that did that, made my life easier. It's not results oriented at all. At the end of the day, as far as like browsing the internet goes, I don't have any budget or cheap computers. Like, even my cell phones and my tablets are reasonably high end. Like, all web browsers are mostly functionally the same to me. So like the little details about like sync being clean and easy and like having a reasonable reset process if I forget a password, those things are important to me. So like when my application makes my life harder and there's an alternative that doesn't make my life harder, I'm going to use the one that doesn't make my life harder. I'm not really data minded. I don't care who has my data. Like if you can like take my data and make my life easier, go for it. Like, you're mining my data to give me a more pleasant experience. Like, I don't have anything that I need to hide. If I had stuff I needed to hide, maybe I would care. I just, like, want my stuff to work and to do the things I want it to do. They conflagrating me for 3? Oh, this gives the Bloodghast haste. Okay, weird. So their sequencing's a little bit off there because they could have hit me for 2 more, right? I have to have a meaningful reason to make the change to Strawminator. So, like, what's the meaningful reason? Like, if they're all the same, why would I make a change from somewhere that, like, already has all of my bookmarks and browsing history synced across all places? Morning tracks. So, if we hit a cantrip, especially like Manamorphose, we should be able to critical mass into killing them game 1 here. But if we keep drawing lands in Pyromancer Ascension, it's not going to be a good scene for us. People always like to jump to extremes like that. It's nothing like free speech. Free speech has to do with you being jailed. Like free speech is about the government confining you based on the things that you say. Like, my data is like, it's like saying I need to hide my data should be private because there's something in there that could get me locked up. Like, is that what you're saying? Because there's nothing in my data that's going to get me locked up. Like, have all of it. Chunky Buddha, thanks for the 7-month free subscription. I appreciate that. Welcome back. No, I want to hold the land in my hand because I have Faithless Lootings in my deck. Yep, there are a lot of people who don't understand what free speech is. Just completely clueless. People think free speech means nothing that they do can have consequences. Like, let's be honest, like, a third or more of my waking life is archived on YouTube, right? Like, who cares? I mean, most of the companies that are buying your information, the reason why they're buying your information is because it's valuable to them to make a better product to encourage you to spend more money. Like, that's what they're doing with it. They're trying to spy on you to sell you better stuff and to sell you stuff more efficiently. I love targeted ads. You know how great it is to not have to watch random BS ads about things I don't care about? Like, the fact that, like, if I see a random advertisement on a random website and it, like, might be something that piques my interest as opposed to just, like, I don't know, makeup or random kids' toys or a TV show I don't care about. Like, I'm surprised that, like, billboard ads that, like, you see on the side of the road, like, I'm surprised those still are a thing today. Like, those have to be way worse dollar in to sales out revenue than targeted advertising. If you're someone that uses an ad blocker that blocks absolutely everything, you should definitely make sure you send some small amount of donation or support to the free website services that you use, because non-obnoxious advertisements are the way that a lot of places monetize their websites. And don't get me wrong, I use an ad blocker that explicitly blocks like the pop-up videos and stuff like that and pop-up screens, but there are a lot of settings in most modern ad blocking software that allow just like the quiet, non-obnoxious advertisements to still exist on the pages, so they still get impression revenue from that. That is exactly lethal there, unfortunately. These Dorkos have haste. That's fair, Zambon. That's a good way to think about it. And I guess like restaurant advertisements are still good, right? Like this restaurant coming up in 4 exits. Like, oh, I'm driving and I'm hungry. I would like to eat. That was a really close game. Like we're just like 1 card away from going off. Manamorphose would have drawn us Path and Flooded Strand. So we would have bricked off and died still. We needed to hit Cantrip into Cantrip to go off here. I plan on the lists that are going to be embedded into each page, theorists, are always going to be the deck list that I would recommend for that archetype. They're not just going to be the latest deck list. So there will be deck lists in the playlist. The most current in the playlist isn't necessarily going to be the deck list on the page. My goal is to make those pages so people can pull up the deck list to say, hey, what would Jeff play? This is what Jeff would play by looking at this website. All right, so this is not a Bedlam Reveler matchup. This is definitely a Thing in the Ice Pyromancer's Ascension matchup. Vix, thanks for the 6-month resubscription. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Welcome. Thanks for the continued support. What do I want to trim here? Yeah, definitely. Relevant Magic-related links are always welcome in chat. How do you feel about trimming Faithless Looting? It's probably like the worst of our cantrips. Gosh, we have Opt in this deck too. I forgot about that. Yeah, I think Looting's probably the trim. No, the copy you get from Ascension is not cast. It is simply placed on the stack. Yeah, the question you want to ask yourself about Alpine Moon versus Blood Moon, Quan, not only does this deck like not really have enough basics to play through its own Blood Moon, but Alpine Moon is explicitly good against big mana decks like Valakut and Tron, whereas Blood Moon is much slower and worse against those decks, but it's better at like trying to screw fair mid-range decks. And this deck is pretty good against fair mid-range decks because of Pyromancer's Ascension. I do have a Chromecast. No, this is the start of this league. This is the first match. We're playing, going into game 2 here against Dredge. Just also close game 1. Isn't Looting better than Bolt? Yes and no. Maybe that's true. I kind of like that, actually. No, I don't like that. Bolt kills them, chat. Bolt kills them. Bolt is how we actually win the game. This is actually a combo burn deck. Bolt and Helix kill the opponent. I think I'm gonna mulligan this. I'm sure I'm gonna mulligan this and like tick off mulligan close 7 and unkeepable 6 off anyone's bingo squares. But I feel like with surgicals and angers in my deck, so like no Ascension or TT in this hand, I just have like a lot of really high impact cards in my deck that I would like to mulligan to. This hand is very reasonable. I just need to find a land in the first couple. Is it worth it to have a Mardu-like splash for Lingering Souls? It's not, Ziptalk. That's why I don't play that. If I needed to pick a deck for a Modern Premier event this weekend, what would it be? Bridgevine. I think the Bridgevine deck is very good. I actually think Mardu Pyromancer is very good as well. If you like playing fair decks, I think Mardu Pyromancer with both Ensnaring Bridge and 4 Leyline of the Void in the sideboard is also a very reasonable choice. You can find my preferred Mardu list on my website. But I think both of those decks are great choices, Nine of Spades. I think I'm going to need to Fetch Shock for Hallowed Fountain next turn. I think I just, like, want double blue. I mean, Leyline's not really a reason to not play the Bridgevine deck, sad. Like, you're gonna play against Graveyard Hate. Like, if you think you're gonna play the Bridgevine deck into any format because of a lack of Graveyard Hate, I think that's like being willfully ignorant of like how Modern works. jeffhoagland.com /decklist to get specifically to the decklist page. There's 20 or so decks on there with my current deck list and some videos. I mean, the Bridgevine deck and the Marty Pyromancer deck both don't really care to play against Graveyard Hate. This is like a combo Hallowed Fountain deck. So, what budget modern deck would I recommend? Elves. Green-black elves with unclaimed territory instead of Cavern of Souls. And then basic forest instead of Horizon Canopy. You can find my current green-black elves deck on my website. How come I get this up arrow instead of the Twitch prom icon I usually get? You are still subscribed to me, Defizzy Man. You have the shovel icon there next to your name. That's the sub icon. That one you can control. So if you click on this little gear here and click edit appearance, you can choose which of your badges get displayed. So that's, you have the bit badge instead of the Twitch Prime badge up at the moment. I'm really not a fan of Living End right now. I think that deck's linear draws are too slow and it's not particularly interactive. I'm going to lean on Sleight of Hand here. Alrighty then. That's pretty good. So we're going to get to double surgical them next turn. Do I want this Helix? I probably do, right? Just like gains me infinite health. I guess I already have one in my hand. I'm going to bottom that. You should watch the last time I played Blue Living End on stream. It was not particularly pretty. I've taken JC to a paper tournament. I think that deck's really fun and very powerful. Blow, when you resub, you need to refresh your browser page and it gives you a chance to send a fun message with your resubscription. Thanks for re-upping though, I appreciate it. If you get a refresh, you should be able to send the notification through. Yeah, I actually think Amulet Titan's a pretty reasonable deck. I think if it's a deck that you're comfortable with, it's a very reasonable choice. Amulet Titan also has like a pretty reasonable interactive portion too, I think. Sweet, so the mountain draw is great here. So I get to go ahead and play this out. And now I can filter this Manamorphose into blue-white. So I can now cast Lightning Helix and up this turn. And actually, if this up... woo, doggy! Oh, baby! Oh, baby! Oh, baby! Oh, this is... When we said this was a combo burn deck, chap, the Manamorphose... Pyromancer Ascension is the combo aspect for those who are wondering. I would love to use this. Always yes, always yield. Alright, so this is gonna make white red. This is gonna make blue red. Rod, thank you for the 4-month resubscription. I appreciate that. Welcome back. This deck's really sweet. I think if you have a Hallowed Fountain addiction and you just want to like play a bunch of good removal spells but still want to be able to kill people, I think this deck is a very good choice. To set the bar incredibly low, this is the best Hallowed Fountain deck. And I'm sure somebody out there will want to fight me for saying that, but I believe that to be the truth. Alright. Alright, sweet. Yeah, sure. Alright, Lightning Helix you. Lightning Helix you. Bolt you. Is Band... I don't think Band Spirits is that good. When we played Band Spirits, I was pretty unimpressed with it. I do think Blue-White Spirits might have some legs, but I haven't played that enough to have an accurate opinion on it. Yeah, the Bant Spirits, I was hyped to see a Lord in it potentially, but it definitely kind of underperformed, I feel. Alright, what if I surgicaled your Narcomoebas, and then we forked my surgical and took away your prized amalgams? It actually wasn't a super huge donation for blue-white control. I'm actually going to take their blood gas here, because once they lose blood gas and Narcomoeba, they basically just can't bring back the amalgams, unless they have something special. So do they have anything? They have a Scourge Devil or a Haunted Dead. They brought in Leyline of the Void. This is good to know about. So like they just lost percentage points there because they showed us their sideboard. So do I want these Wear Terrors? I think I want these Wear Terrors, right? Fork's actually a Magic card name, FYI. It is technically a programming reference for Git and SVN, but I kind of want to cut Thing, right? Then they just like can't conflagrate my creatures. Is it nuts to cut Thing? Burgle, I'm dumb for wanting to cut Thing, right? I don't think I want to bring in Mentor against the Conflagrate deck, chat. That seems really bad. Maybe just do this and like hope they don't hit the ley line. That's probably fine. Yeah, I'm just not gonna do it. Let's just run it. Chain doesn't really do anything. Dead. Here's hoping the rest of their hand's kind of medium. This is a good start from them. See how much actual pressure they have to follow it up. It's a shame they stole game one on us. Or we bricked off, I guess I should say. I mean, it's definitely reasonable. That's why I sat there and hemmed and hawed about it. But like, what am I supposed to be replacing is the question. Like, it's definitely not unreasonable to bring in the anti-hate card when we know they have a hate card. But like, again, sideboarding is a one-to-one process. So I felt like it wasn't worth diluting my game plan further to bring that in. And I'd rather just like try and kill them with like burn spells and Thing in the Ice. That's rough. Hopefully the rest of their hand is bad. I mean, Delta could replace Tarn. It's worse, but it's replaceable, sure. Like, we play Basic Mountain in here, so, like, not being able to fetch Basic Mountain's a real drawback. We're gonna figure out what our options are over the next couple of turns here. Care to elaborate? Yeah, bringing in a 2 toughness creature against a deck that's going to find its way to kill the 2 toughness creatures is bad, generally speaking. We want to bring in Mentor when we want to increase our threat density, and I don't think their deck is very likely to have a Conflagrate. Very, very likely to have a copy of Conflagrate. Well, thankfully, their actual draw here is real bad outside of the disruption. Also, like, this is a matchup where we're, like, trying to lean into Thing in the Ice, and Thing in the Ice plus Mentor technically is not a combo. I'm gonna be greedy and bottom that, because I would like a white source, which we hit. Perfect. Alright, let's do it. Like, while the opponent's deck only has 3 copies of Conflagrate in it, you need to remember that the opponent's deck is good because their average draw sees most of their deck. So they're going to find these cards to kill us with. We've actually streamed Mono Black Devotion several times. You can check it out on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. If you don't have time to watch the entire video, you can skip to the very end where I talk usually pretty explicitly about things I liked or things I didn't like in the deck. You think that's fine? Does that matter? Nah, I just want more cantrips. Let's just find more cantrips and flip this thing. I mean, kinda, Rog. Like, the reason why their hand has done the reason why we haven't been killing them is because of the hand that they kept, right? Like, they kept a hand that didn't have a lot of pressure, but they kept disruption. So, Lightning Bolt and Lightning Helix are both lethal next turn. Oh, you know what? I probably shouldn't be blocking because of Collective Brutality. That's what I'm here for, Siege. That's what I'm here for. Can I just flip this over, right? So anger means I kill them through Stinkweed next turn. Are they on the 0 outer? I think they're on the 0 outer, right? Yeah, it looks like they're on the 0 outer here. And again, like, the opponent kept a very disruption heavy hand, but it just, like, didn't do anything while they disrupted us. So Thing in the Ice was able to punch the clock and go to work here. No, Bolas. I wanted to take Thoughtseize there for actually exactly the reason you just saw. If I if I had left Thoughtseize in my opponent's deck, they had the potential to go Thoughtseize my Anger, play Stinkweed Imp as a blocker, and by taking Thoughtseizes out of the deck, I removed their ability to do that. So Loam isn't going to do anything this game. This game is not about grinding. It's about identifying our role and what our opponent's possible outs are, and then doing our best to minimize them to have those outs. So by taking their Thoughtseizes away, I actually removed one of the ways my opponent had to be able to win the game. While we're waiting for the second match in this league to pop, I'd just like to say good morning, afternoon, and good night to everybody wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for hanging out here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer, memer, and content producer. Yeah, you're right. They were at 1. I wasn't thinking about their health total. Then the actual answer is, it really didn't matter. I just wanted to flip my thing. That's the answer. It really didn't matter. All right, anywho, thanks for hanging out today, folks. Remember, if you enjoy my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. I stream because I love doing it, but it's because of all their support that I'm able to be here day in and day out for the 30-plus hours a week that I'm here. Past subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. MTGOtraders.com. I love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code Hoagland PayPal and check out with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. Honey is a free browser add-on that when you install it using link bit.ly/HoogleHoney, you'll be supporting my content here at absolutely no cost to yourself. What Honey does is when you're shopping online, it takes a look at the things that you put in your shopping cart and it searches automatically for some coupon codes for you to save you money on things you planned on buying anyways. Lisa would like to get you on your way to a better night's sleep. Christy and I have been sleeping with Lisa for the last 2 months now and we really enjoy it. Lisa provides foam mattresses and I don't think we'd ever go back to a traditional pillow top. You can save $160 or more on your new mattress by checking out links bit.ly/HoogleBedUS and bit.ly/HoogleBedCA. And of course, we'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia. Hope everyone's having a great Wednesday. Please talk to your friendly neighborhood moderator about your complimentary timeout. We are 1-0 in this league with Jeskai Thing Ascension now. Head on into our second match. We just beat Dredge. This hand's fine, right? Not amazing, but fine. One of the things I really like about this deck is while it has some like combo-focused draws, it definitely is very interactive in a lot of the games between our bolts and our helix and our paths. So like decks that could potentially get under us, we have a lot of opportunities to like interact with them. No, we're a Pyromancer's Ascension deck. So I think Leyline's definitely fine to board in against us. Maxim, thanks for checking out Honey there. I appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Oh, we know, Totos. We know. My hand's not really looking for anything in particular right now. So I think I'm actually going to go ahead and just pass the turn here and probably fetch a tap land at their end step. Because if I'm able to play these cantrips post Thing in the Ice, I can flip my thing a little bit faster. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. This is the second time we played this deck on stream, I believe. So if you're hungry to see more of this after we're done today, be sure to check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. All my stuff gets archived there, and I break it up by deck so you can watch just the ones that you care about. That's a pretty good one, too. Quarantine. Quantaire maybe? Not Quarantine. Quantaire, thanks for checking out, Honey. I appreciate it. Welcome. You ever wish you had Bloodghast in the deck? I don't know, Dr. Kamar. I actually had someone submit another copy of Bridgevine that's actually with a pretty big bump on it. It's getting close. It's started pretty close to the top of the queue. Yeah, it's at line 17 right now. That actually has 2 Bloodghasts in it. I'm kind of skeptical of Bloodghast in the Bridgevine deck because it is only a 17 land deck, right? So like the amount of times you can bring Bloodghast back are probably kind of few and far between. Honestly, I kind of wonder if is this a mirror match? This could be a mirror match. I kind of wonder if maybe if you wanted more recursive creatures in the Bridgevine deck, if something like Bloodsoaked Champion could be good. Arsenic G, thanks for checking out, honey. I appreciate it. Have a good one, Mr. Missouri. Thanks for dropping by. Greater Gargadon was very, very good when we played yesterday. So we definitely had 2 Greater Gargadons in our deck list, and it felt very powerful. So Bloodsoak Champion is mana to bring it back, but it's another 1 mana creature for the purposes of helping you generate those 2 creature turns for your Vengevines. Some kind of like Temur Delver deck, maybe? Definitely Temur Delver. Okay. I'm going to start with Faithless Looting here since I drew this other looting. All of my deck lists that we've played are in the descriptions of the YouTube videos that they're played in, so makes it nice and easy. Sweet, we are gonna... This Ascension is gonna be active next turn, which is awesome. Actually, do I want to path this turn? I kind of do, right? I kind of do. Yeah, they could have a stub here. I'm gonna get Sacred Foundry here and be a little aggressive with my health total. I'm gonna go ahead and path this plus opt and get this to 1 counter, and then next turn I can go Ascension plus looting to flip this. We beat Dredge 2-1, Burgle. We won both the postboard games. We killed them with Thing in the Ice game 3 through a Leyline of the Void. I would not be surprised to get a fat stubby D here. Honestly, this deck's probably really good against a lot of these graveyard-based strategies. Not only is Thing in the Ice reasonable, but having Angers and Surgicals seems very potent. Spell Pierce. Okay. So not quite a fat stubby D, but close. Drop to 9 here. If they can't, like, double bolt this thing, we're going to be in a pretty decent spot. All right, they just got nothing so far, huh? The blue Thing in the Ice is not good with Delver, and the blue-red tempo deck just doesn't have enough cantrips to flip Thing in the Ice aggressively. I think it's the reason why I wouldn't play Thing in the blue-red deck. Like, Delver has a hard enough time getting going. Like, sending him back to our hand after he flips over, that just sounds real weak. Not where I want to be in life. If we hit a land, do we Manamorphose before we looting? Yeah, almost certainly. Is that another Spell Pierce? Oh, Vapor Snag. Okay, sure. It seems like a good use of Vapor Snag. I think I'm gonna bottom here, just looking for another path. So what do I want to do here? If I crack the fetch, I'm dead to Snapcaster or Bolt. The grindier matchups are definitely your harder matchups, Lucky Owl, but I think that's a fine place to be in Modern. Grindy decks, by and large, aren't very good in this format. I guess I could go Thing into Manamorphose, but like I have to draw like exactly another Manamorphose to do that. I think I'm supposed to go Ascension into Manamorphose Looting, and that turns on my Ascension and gives me 3 shots at a Path to Exile. I guess I really just like don't want to cast these not triggering the Ascension. Jumping seems really bad. I guess it lets me untap with Ascension and all my mana. Alright, yeah, I lied. I think that's fine. Don't give me the fat stubby D. Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't want it. Keep it to yourself. I think I like jump blocking. I think this gives us the best chance to win. Because then next turn, I can go Morphose Looting, and then my Sleight of Hand is doubled, and I have a pretty good shot to get through here. And then, like, once the Ascension is online, Bolts and Lightning Helixes kill the Hooting Mandrills as well. They have a Dismember. That's brutal. Alright, dead to Bolt and Snap. Alright, so if I would have gone for it last turn, I would have hit that, and then I would have drawn these two. Yep. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to do that just because of Vapor Snag and Dismember. So I would have taken the Hooting Mandrills off the table if I'd have taken the other line. Unfortunate. I don't actually have anything to board in here. I'm just going to click submit. I guess going Ascension into Manamorphose Looting, we died to Spell Pierce, or we were pretty dead to Spell Pierce, but maybe that was worth the risk. Yeah. Yeah, and you could probably argue they're more likely to have a counterspell there, but I guess a lot of their counterspells hit either thing, so it didn't really matter. And like, they'd already double Spell Pierced. I'm gonna fetch shock Hallowed Fountain and Serum Visions on one. I definitely would have made red-white Serpy Boy, because I'd be playing to the out of drawing the path. If I Manamorphose there, I'm Manamorphosing with the intention of playing to the out of drawing a path. So, the out, it's definitely red-white or blue-white, depending on which cantrip I want to cast. And it's Faithless Looting is the one that I want to cast because it triggers the Ascension. I'm going to bottom the Helix for now, but I'm going to keep the Manamorphose. I think you're just like always supposed to keep Manamorphose in this deck. It's very good. It's absolutely absurd with both Thing in the Ice and Pyromancer's Ascension. It's great. I'm just going to go tap land pass here, I think. Or fetch for tap land and pass. I guess if they play... Now, even if they play a Tarmogoyf, I'm probably just going to like fetch Sacred Foundry and then the next turn go like Thing in the Ice, path like Tarmogoyf. No, this is a good Hallowed Fountain deck. This doesn't get lumped in with all those dirty interactive Hallowed Fountain decks. This is a combo Hallowed Fountain deck. We sent Kent back to his coast. I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me. But at least I've got chat. Do you prioritize Pyromancer Ascension or Thing in the Ice in this deck? The answer is, it depends. Magic players always want humans. They always want shortcuts. They always want, you should always do this. And the reason why Magic is such an interesting and complex game is because, especially in decks that have so many sequencing decisions like this, it really just depends on like how your draw's lining up, what matchup you're playing, etc., etc. That's true. Twitch chat did make my top 6 favorite people that I named my Pokemon team after. Opponent just said they have children rolling around, so I can understand that to a degree. Been there, done that. How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's having a great Wednesday wherever you're at. Hopefully we have time to do 4 decks today. This Ascension deck tends to run a little bit long. It's very interactive, and the blue-white control almost certainly will as well. We may or may not make it through Storm today as well. Did you play your Ghost account from before you went full-time? I don't know what you mean by that, Emmer Kool-Aid. Have we established the price to live stream Pokemon Go? That's got to be a total pain, right? Because I need like a second device. No, it's like a regular blue-red Storm deck with Bedlam Reveler added to it. I think there's 2 copies in the deck. So I have no idea if that's good or not, but we'll see. I'm just gonna jam this into a Mana Leak here. Like, come at me. That's awesome, Isha. It's like the last thing Pokemon Go is missing from like the Game Boy Pokemon experience. What I mean by Hallowed Fountain deck, I mean control decks that play Hallowed Fountain. Like blue-white control and Jeskai control. Snag me, baby. Snag. Oh no, which member? Jeff, it's been a while since I caught you streaming. How great to see you're still kicking around and memeing. Incognito Burrito. Welcome back to you. Thanks for the support. I appreciate it. Which Gen 1 starter did I pick? There's two choices for Gen 1 starters, chat. Squirtle and wrong choices, okay? Just so we're clear on where I stand. Just so everything is abundantly clear. There's no confusion. There's Squirtle and there's incorrect choices. You've gone too far. Real pros PC their starter and main Pikachu. Look at Burgle trying to be all smart and stuff and tell me not to take Lightning Bolt. What if I need double bolt to kill a Hooting Mandrills? Where's your logic and reasoning now, Burgle? I'd be dead to a 4-4 right now if we listened to you. Congrats, Grimwatch. Hopefully we'll see more of you around here then. I'll be here doing my thing. Squirtle makes your first gym really easy. Well, I guess Bulbasaur does that too, technically. Stupid plant dinosaur. Alright. You only live once, chat. You only live once. No, I think putting Thing in the Ice in your Delver deck sounds like a huge punt. Delver has a hard enough time flipping. In Modern, don't make it harder. If I had a 4th land Burgle, I'd be dead to a Hooting Mandrill, so it wouldn't matter. Just saying. Just saying. Yeah, definitely, Isha. I'm planning to stream on Sunday during the day, but Christy and I are going to go out on Saturday for sure. We're seeing so many cards, chat. What are the odds this Ascension resolves? 0 or less than 0? Bum da dum da dum da 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 da. Bum da dum da dum da 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 da. Oh no, I've been pierced. Yeah, it's really easy to get shinies during the community events. I have a bunch of shiny Squirtles. Huh. I'm going top here. We're taking 6 down to 7. I'm going to Helix this up to 10. Plus play Visions. Our opponent's playing Temur Delver. Well, I guess we haven't seen Delvers. They're playing Temur stuff. I assume there are Delvers. We've seen Hooting Mandrills and Young Pyromancers so far. I'm assuming there are Delvers hiding somewhere. I'm looking for an untapped land here. I'm gonna upkeep Helix. I assume if this gets countered, we're dead, though. Am I dead yet? Reveler and Mandrill sounds like a really solid non-bow Grimwatch. Good games, opponent. Alright, 1-1. Beat Dredge. Lost to Temur cards. Feels bad, man. We could have maybe had a different line in the first game, but that second game we just got pretty thoroughly bodied. There's not a whole lot we could do there. I mean, I'd have to imagine a deck like ours is probably one of the better matchups for the opponent's deck. Like, our deck is basically a spell-based combo deck. And we only have 4 ways to interact with things that, I guess Thing in the Ice kind of interacts with things with more than 3 toughness. Oh, my legs are sore from this morning still. Maybe I should have sat down longer. Don't skip days at the gym, chat. It hurts when you go back. It hurts. It hurts when you get back. Solution is clearly never go back. You got a slippery boy, huh? I'll sit here and look at my path to exiles and be sad. Oh, that looting was probably good, right? Because it could bin these paths. Ooh, do they only have 1 land? If they only have 1 land, we might be able to find a TT and go to town here. This might be greedy. This is probably greedy. Alright, if we live through this turn, perhaps we could be okay. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. Do 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 do. It's fine. We're going to draw a bunch of cards next turn. So what we're going to do is we're going to play Manamorphose first, which is going to kick us up mana. And then we're going to play Thing in the Ice with 3 mana left over. And then hopefully our cantrips are going to find us either more Manamorphose or a 4th land. And then we can flip the thing and send the Bogle back to the hell it came from. The fiery depths of despair. The new Vengevine deck is very sweet. Alright, so, yep, that's fine. So, I want to make blue and red. And then... probably want to make red here, huh? Nah, probably blue-red again. Alright, so I'm going to start with this. Say, always yield, always yes, always yield. Alright, looking for a red source here, chat. It's what the doctor ordered. Alright, well, let's start. Do we start with this Faithless Looting because I could find another Manamorphose? I think we start with the Faithless Looting because I could find another Manamorphose, right? And then just, like, go completely insane here still. In? No, I'm just looking for more cantrips. Yeah, alright. So I'm going to play this, and I'm going to go ahead and... Now, I don't want to pass the turn, right? Passing the turn is incredibly greedy, because they could path me in response. It's a pretty good turn, chat. What do you think? This deck is sweet when it goes off. How do we feel about bottoming aggressively? I definitely don't want that. I probably want this. Buffering my health total seems fine. Pick him up. We're like looking for Manamorphose at this point. Go. Helix kills them with a land. We need a land, right? We need a red source. That felt good, chat. It felt real good. Taste of victory. Alright, definitely want the wear chairs. Definitely want the wear chairs. Do I want Anger of the Gods? Probably. Probably. I didn't realize this was Hearthstone. We loaded it up and we fired it off. Boogles dying, right? Revelers are probably too slow. Cut Revelers, Path, Angers, and Wear Chairs. Look at that. I like when we play a deck that Boogles tested. He just tells me what to do. Listen. This is the authentic Hoglandia experience with the Hoagland humming. Okay, I'm gonna leave one Bedlam Reveler, and she doesn't love drawing cards. These are real bad. All right, let's do it. I think Negate is worse than the Path or the Bedlam Reveler. Like, our deck just, like, really isn't built to be keeping up mana in a matchup like this. We want to just, like, be doing our thing as aggressively as possible. And it isn't a Faithless Looting deck. It isn't a Faithless Looting deck. That's weird. In here I thought we were a Faithless Looting deck. For future reference, Twibs, there's always a deck list on your screen on this stream. Always try and do my best to make information accessible to folks watching. Well. Cast Serum Visions. Oh, tasty. I'm gonna have a bellyache. There's so much candy on top of our deck, chat. My tummy hurts. It's just too much candy. Too much candy. I'm gonna play Thing first here. No, you don't want to group Temple Garden decks with Hallowed Fountain. It's explicitly Voice of Resurgence. That should get grouped in there. Explicitly Voice of Resurgence. Alright, so we're gonna tear this one. We're gonna bolt this one. We're gonna pass the turn. Come on, stack some goodies on. Stack it up. Stack it up. Your move, Bogle boy. Who could win? One slippery boy or a giant thing in the ice? Ah, I would have hit the land too. What a tilt. Alright, so let's cast this. Huh. So I kind of wanted to discard the opt to be able to like trigger this turn, but I think because I drew 2 lands, I'm just gonna bin these and just like cast 2 opts in a row here. This is probably worse than a random. Yeah, I agree, Boogles. I agree. I could be a monkey choosing game actions at random and probably win this game. Wait, are you not chump blocking my Awakened Horror? Do we think is this a winning line? Do you think taking 7 next turn is a winning line, opponent? They're dead even without the attack because we drew that opt. Listen, chat. I wanted my extra bolts. Don't take my extra bolts away from me. Boogles secret. Boogles loves decks that are good against Boogles. You and me both, man. You and me both. Boogles is a miserable deck to lose to. Play decks that are good against it. And again, because we already have 2 lands in our hand, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and play a tapped land here, so that way my cantrips can be post-thing in the ice. Boogles, if I was gonna put this deck on my website, what's the 3rd card that should be in the picture? Obviously, Thing in the Ice, Pyromancer's Ascension, and what's the 3rd? What's the 3rd card that embodies what this deck is doing? Is this the same person? A different Boogles player. Is it Bolt? It's probably Bolt, right? Manamorphose is a good one. I think Bolt or Manamorphose are both good ones. It's Morphose? Yeah, I think it's Morphose. Morphose is like the last messed up thing in the deck, right? Like we just got done talking about how absurd that card is with everything else. I have some time this evening. Christy plays D&D on Wednesday nights, whatever day today is. So I'm gonna have time to get some work done after the kids go to bed. So I'm gonna add some more decks to the website, I think. Well, it's a pretty okay draw. So I'm gonna Manamorphose into red here. So that way I can looting plus bolt, and then I can opt on their turn, I think. Although I want to get the No, I'm dumb. I just want to get the extra 7 in now. It doesn't matter. We've not played matchups where the Revelers are good. Revelers are kind of this deck's way to help it grind through some of the interactive decks in the format. So Revelers have been pretty medium so far in the matchups that we've played. Definitely. Remember that discussion we were having about what the other cards should be on here? Definitely that one. I think I want Helix here. I think I'm in for Helix. I think I'm in for Helix. Am I Faithless Looting? If I Faithless Looting here, I can play the Bedlam Reveler next turn and gas up. Seems appealing. Right, that's 6. God, this deck is so good when it goes off. Next turn we get to go TT, Bedlam, draw 3, smack you. If you were under the abyss on turn 3. Abyss! Abyss! It's like, wheelp! Wheel. Oh yeah, you get that, Umbra, little Bogle boy. You get it, little Bogle boy, you. I think I'd rather have a second thing than a Pyromancer's Ascension here. Can ever win a match? You can definitely win a match. Winning a match is a really low bar. Oh, Manamorphose, eh? You don't say. We got some Manamorphose. Manamorphose, tasty. Definitely Manamorphose. That's the third card. All right, I'm at 15. Are we done here yet? Are we done here yet? Probably Polluted Delta, Rain Spider. Holy Spark! Thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Make red here. That was me having no... I discarded a Lightning Helix opponent. Alright, Bedlams and 3 paths out. Got it. They can't concede. They're not technically dead. You're not wrong. You are not incorrect. I love how clean the sideboard is in this deck, by the way, Burgle. And the fact that, like, we can almost always find our sideboard cards consistently is really awesome as well. It's scrumptious. It's so tasty. If they have a... It's like a Spirit Dancer hand? Sure. So we're definitely not going to give him a turn with this one. We're going to grab Sacred Foundry here. We're going to go ahead and untap and Helix this bad boy. Kill it with fire, chat. Ooh. Just the hottest of fire. The reason for not Sleight of Handing on turn 1, Drew, is I'm not looking for anything in particular, and I want to use that Sleight of Hand to trigger my thing in the ice. They must have a path, right? That this is like an absurdly bad play if they don't have a path. Okay, sure. Yep. Do 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 do. I think I actually don't want that. Ooh, candy. Pretty sure this is actually just not a Pyromancer Ascension turn. Pyromancer Ascension game. Yep, deal. Alright, and then they're at 10. We've got a 7-power guy and a Lightning Helix. This card's like the blue Tarmogoyf these decks always wish they had. Oh, they went to 3. Wow. All right. I just thought they were going to block and then I'd tear the Hyena Umbra and kill the Dryad Arbor. Deal. You can dance. Listen, I know I just want to prove a point, okay? Now you concede. Now this is the part where we've come back and we can no longer win. All right, good, excellent. 3-1. 3-1 after some close losses to a Temur deck. I think we have a good Boogles matchup, chat. I think we have a good Boogles matchup. You're at the very least guaranteed to be a modern deck, chat. Leave the poor Boogles alone. Is there a Boggles corollary to the why people like control decks? Like, I enjoy the time I spend beating Boggles way more than the time I spend beating other decks. So we have Opt now, Malor, and I think Opt fits into the deck a little bit better than Thought Scour does. While we do gain a little bit of value from having random cards in our discard pile with Ascension, I think I'd rather have the more control that Opt offers. Faithless Looting's also been very, very good. Like, not having to cast your first copy of a card before you turn on Faithless Looting to turn on Ascension has been great. I'm gonna play Spirebluff Canal and pass here, and the reason why I'm doing this is I'm gonna get to see a little bit of information about my opponent's deck before I make a decision with my first cantrip. I was about to say, don't you dare play a third Bogle. I'll be very concerned. Just like, what is going on with the modern format? So many Bogles. I got some news, chat. Thing in the Ice, also very good against turn 1 Noble Hierarch. Oh no! Not Voice of Resurgence! Chat, how can we ever win the game now? Oh no! Oh no! Not Grizzly Bass! I guess I'll take the white source instead of the third Ascension. Alright, your move. This is clearly Horror Tribal. What's going on, Justin? Good afternoon. Hope your Wednesday's going well. Das Coco, yeah? Nice magic. Of all the cards, I just want you to remember, chat, that there's a lot of cards that are modern legal, and when you choose to register this one, you have only yourself to blame when this happens. Floden, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Burgle, should I just looting away this second Ascension? I feel like I probably don't need it to win, right? How do we feel about just like leading on looting with the idea that we're probably bidding this Ascension? I'm gonna go greedy. Do I go greedy here? I'm gonna go greedy here. I'm gonna discard these two. I'm gonna shock this in. I'm gonna cast Serum Visions with triggering 2 Ascension. Zero Forever with the $5 donation. Thank you. Now my login page isn't loaded. I know what you are probably gonna say, but I wanted to ask, should I play JAC at the Open in Baltimore? It looks sweet. I think the deck is great. I think if you're enjoying playing it, I think it's a fine choice. I don't really want to give them a land. I don't really care about Voice of Resurgence. Like, why do I care about Grizzly Bear? There's an opt in my bin. Let's go bottom, top here. Pass. Like, I know some of you people out there who like controlling Hallowed Fountain decks, like Voice gives you PTSD because it's scary, but like, we're a good Hallowed Fountain deck. We don't care about this Voice. Hopefully Zero Forever. I'm definitely trying that tomorrow. Oh no! Oh no, chat! Chat, they have a scavenging. Oh no! Oh chat, what have I done? What have I done? Oh, no! Oh, no! No, stop it! Stop it, opponent! Stop her, monster! Oh, no! Oh, sweet, they left me Serum Visions. It's cool. It's cool. They left me Serum Visions. God bless. God bless. Alright, it's fine. It's fine. I've overreacted. I've overreacted. We're gonna be okay. Alright, so I've got Helix. Goes off twice. I'm gonna grab that. I'm gonna cast Opt. Always yes, always yes, always yield. Oh, wait, I was like, why do I still have 2 Ops? Because I have 2 Ascensions. These do 9, chat. These do 9. I completely forgot we were greedy and got an extra one. Oh, baby, they're dead. Oh, gosh. Oh, chat. Oh, chat. Nice green-white. Nice deck full of green-white cards. Nice deck. I just, like, need to prove a point here, which is I didn't even need this thing in the ice to kill you. I didn't even need this thing in the ice to kill you. Aha! Victory! Do-do-do. 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 That's just... Okay, so, like, this deck is, like, it's good against Boogles, and it doesn't get outground by crappy green-white cards. This deck is... I like this deck. Monastery Mentor, welcome to the party. You've been hanging out in the sideboard so far. You've been hanging out in the sideboard so far. Let's tap you in here. Just tap it in. Do I want Anger in this matchup? Do I really want Anger? Okay, yeah, I guess they have a bunch of managers. I'm not always gonna have Thing, right? I'm not always gonna have Thing. What do I trim then? Is it just the lootings? Do we just trim lootings? Looting's the worst cantrip. I think Mentor is very good here. The opponent's deck is very minimal amounts of removal. Why would we want to cut Reveler? This matchup feels like it can grind a little bit. I guess there's a chance they could have Rest in Peace in their Voice of Resurgence Light of the Reliquary deck. Like, this is modern, people do things like that. I think I like Mentor more than Reveler. But Path is very good in this matchup. No, chat, you don't want to trim, like, going down to 3 Path and 1 Helix, that's really bad. Because you want multiples of your spells for Ascension, so if you're gonna trim, nice 0, if you're gonna trim anything, always make sure you're trimming all of the same thing by and large. We will likely be starting with Pack JAC tomorrow, then 0. And if we don't start with it, we'll definitely be playing it at some point tomorrow. Chat, this card gets bigger. This card doesn't die to Anger of the Gods, chat. Do you see all these 1-mana cards here? People talking about Mentor Anger. You cast one of these, and then you cast Anger, and this card lives. It's very... I know Prowess is this complicated mechanic. It's complicated mechanic. Very, very complex. It has a lot going on to it. But if you read them, and you put it in the context of the rest of our cards, it's actually fine. I'm gonna kill this one. Kill it with fire. Bolt the bird. Someone, I read that in a book somewhere. Bolt the bird. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Alright. Faithless Looting would be a great draw. Get to cycle through some of these lands. Matt Maxon, thanks for checking out, honey. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for the support. I know we said we're always supposed to take Manamorphose in this deck, but like, whew, that's an active Ascension right there. It's an active Ascension right there, champ. Do 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 do. Is adding white really doing anything in this deck besides playing Path to Exile? I think one, Nerdster, I think Blood Moon isn't good right now. Two, Lightning Helix and Wear Tear out of the sideboard. I think Wear Tear out of the sideboard is a big deal. Well, that's kind of a tilt. That's kind of a tilt that they had the Abrupt Decay. They have a Black Splash in their deck. That's interesting. Good news. Thing in the Ice, gonna kill them very quickly. Bottom top. If they have another Decay, they could be okay. If they don't have, like, another Decay here, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. And by a lot of trouble, I mean likely dead. Okay, that works too. They're giving it the college best here. Smoke if you got him, chat. Smoke if you got him. That's all I'm saying. I'm not endorsing cigarettes, but if you do it, this is the time. This is the time. Just, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Be-do-do-do-do-do. Be-do-do-do. I'm bolting now proactively because I want to have another monk that can attack next turn. Peace, Incognito Burrito. Have a good one yourself. Would this have been better as Bedlam Reveler that turn? I wonder if that would have been better than Bedlam Reveler or not. What do we got here? What do we got? Okay. Okay, we could brick off. We could brick off and not kill them here. I love that our deck full of cantrips can draw cantrips sometimes. Tasty. Tasty. Alright. Alright. Sweet. We only lost 3 games in that league. Of course, we beat Boogles twice, so like, you know. This is card for card the deck list we played last time we played this deck. Burgle, who I've been referencing in chat, and Bob and Cheese, another longtime sub and someone that I bounce ideas off of pretty consistently. They played this deck a bunch, and these are the 75 cards that they recommended that we play for this archetype. And I really feel like they've done a good job with it. I feel like Every card in this deck has a really clean purpose. The sideboarding feels really smooth. I think this deck's a really good choice if you're looking for something that's... If you enjoy playing removal-heavy decks that can also are capable of having a very proactive game plan, I think this deck's a very reasonable choice for doing that. I think this deck has a lot of powerful sideboard cards in it, but unlike a lot of decks in Modern, this deck is capable of finding those sideboard cards consistently. Because if you... if I can just direct your attention here to these 16 one-mana cantrips, and then our 4 copies of Manamorphose, I think these, we have a lot more get up and go than get up and go to find these key cards and everything else. Also, if you've never forked a surgical extraction against Dredge before, let me tell you about things that are delicious. What are the bad matchups? I'd imagine this deck probably struggles a little bit against something like Jeskai Control or blue-white, things that have more answers than they do threats, just because they're going to be able to interact with our few key things. That would be my estimation. I don't think those decks are particularly good in Modern though, so you know. That being said, I don't think those decks are particularly good in Modern. Let's play some blue-white Control, shall we?